show you how to sew this rolled collar bodycon gown. Greetings everyone, and let's get started. For this project, you don't need to draft on pattern paper, okay? But because I'm working with a light stretchy fabric, I am going to be drafting on a pattern paper. My fabric stretches in two ways. I have a lot of this fabric, but for this project I used one and a half. All right, make sure that the most stretchy part is the width of your fabric. From the top of my pattern paper, I draw up my startup line. On my measurement to start below my startup line, mark out my bust point, my under bust and my waistline. Mark the same thing on the other side and connect them with a straight line, then indicate my bust point, under bust and waistline. For the neck width, I mark 2.5. For the neck depth, I mark half of an inch. Next, I'm going to be marking 2 inch for the front neck depth. This is the back neck depth, this is the front neck depth. Mark out my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Go up 2 inches from my bust point, connect with a broken line. Mark my shoulder measurement on that broken line and connect the 2 points together. I'll mark out this point to be bold. Mark my bust measurement divided by 4 minus half of an inch on my armhole depth. Next, I'm going to mark out my under bust measurement divided by 4 minus half, waist measurement divided by 4 minus half. Then I'll go ahead to connect these points together like this. Next, I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole that will go in by half of an inch. Come down the shoulder by half of an inch. Connect this with a slanted line to the neckline, and I'm going to go ahead to mark out my armhole curve. Now for the full length, you can decide to mark it straight up like this, or you can just place your tape on the waistline and mark out from the waist to how long you want it to be. Alright, so I go ahead to mark out my full length, connect with a straight line, and this is the full length. Add 1 inch for my hemming allowance. Next, I'm going to come down from my waistline by 9 inches for the hip line. Next, on that line, I'm going to measure my hip measurement divided by 4 minus half of an inch. And I'm going to bring that measurement to my full length, then go in by 2 inches to give me that fitting on the hem. Next, I'm going to use a straight rule and I'm going to connect this and stop like 2 inches before the hip. Then using my curve rule, I'm going to curve it like this to avoid having a pointy hip. Next, I'll go ahead to cut this out like this without adding any sewing allowance. Do not cut out the front neckline, but cut out the back neckline first. We are going to be using this pattern for the front and the back. Next, you are going to measure the armhole so that we can cut out the sleeve. You follow your curve accordingly. You don't need to use a pattern for the sleeve either. You can just place your fabric on fold and do exactly what you see me doing here. First, I'll go ahead to mark up my startup line, mark the midpoint of my armhole, connect with a straight line. Then I'll mark my armhole measurement in a slanted way like so. Wherever it touches that line, I connect with a slanted line. Get the midpoint of my slanted line and I'm going to go down by half of an inch. Next, you are going to make a line starting from the top, not too curved, to touch that half inch and to meet the other end of the sleeve. Then you can go ahead to make this line bold with your curve rule. I'll place my tape at the top and I'm going to mark the full length of my sleeve, add 1 inch for folding allowance, cut it out. I'll go up 5 inches from my actual full length because this sleeve length goes below my wrist. On that point, I mark out my waist measurement, and on the lower point, I mark out my hand measurement. Next, I'm going to get my elbow line, mark it out and insert my elbow measurement minus half inch. Get the center between the elbow and the sleeve cap, and that will be for our bicep measurement, and you insert your round arm measurement divided by 2 minus half. Then you go ahead to connect the points together like this and you cut it out without adding any sewing allowance. Next, I'll go ahead to cut this out on my fabric, adding only half of an inch to the top part. No other sewing allowance is needed. Remember to notch the center of your sleeve. I've also cut out these on my fabric. I have two pieces of this and I cut on fold. I only add sewing allowance on the shoulder. Every other point, no allowance was added. Next, you are going to remove one piece and so that you can cut the front neckline. Place your pattern on it and you go ahead to pin it down to hold it down. Then you can go ahead to cut the front neckline on this piece. So I'll go ahead to unpin other part of it, open it up and place it right side facing right side. And I'm going to join this using 1 inch on the side. Every other side I join with half of an inch. Okay, I joined with 1 inch because my fabric was very stretchy. Alright, every other side I used half inch. So I've also gone ahead to join the sleeve and the shoulder. I've also folded the sleeve hem and the down of my gown. I hem it down. I will top stitch it later on. So next, you are going to measure the round measurement of your neckline. When you are measuring this, you hold it and measure it all around. Do not stretch it while at it. This is the cutout for our collar. The line should mark the placement of your main gown. The width I have here is 17 inches. Now it is this long because you'd have to place it on fold and then place it on another fold. Alright. Now the length should be your actual neck circumference plus 1.5 inch. Next, you are going to place this right side facing right side and we are going to join it straight up. After joining, you trim out your excess. Next, you are going to place this on fold to get a circled band like this. Next, you are going to get the joint points to meet each other and you are going to pin that point together. Next, you go ahead to place it on fold like so. You make sure it is equal at the tip. You get the other corner of your fold and you are going to use a pin to indicate that point. You can either use a pin to indicate that corner or you can notch it. But using a pin is actually nicer as it holds the two folds together. Now we have two ends that have two pins on it. Next, you are going to place these two ends that have two pins on it together like so. Then you are going to get the other corners, and when you get the other corners, you are going to use a pin to indicate one corner and you also use a pin to indicate the other corner. While you are doing this, please do not stretch it. Now we have 4 pins. You are going to take your gown, you are going to place the both shoulders together and you are going to notch the back center and also notch the front center. Do not stretch this while you are doing this. To fix the collar, you are going to take the part that have the joining and you are going to place it on the back notch. You use the pin there and you hold it down. You go to the next pin and you are going to be pinning the next pin to one shoulder. You hold the both of them together, use the pin to hold it down. The next pin should be going to the front notch. You use the pin and you hold the both sides together. The last pin goes to the last shoulder and you pin it up. Now you might have excesses, but just make sure you stretch it while you sew and that excess will not be visible, alright? And the other reason for stretching it is so that when you are wearing it, your seam lines will not be breaking. So here I am done sewing. I will not be trimming my excesses because I would actually cut it out when they are weaving it, okay? But you can trim out yours if you know you don't want to overlock or weave the inside of your gown. Next, I'll go ahead to flip this to the right side. Now, for the collar, it can look this long. All you have to do is to roll it down after wearing it. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see you in the next. Bye.